In this video, I'd like to show you some examples of a Stage 2 ePortfolio. So this one comes from Term 2 of last academic year. We like to start off with a home page that adds some continuity to the portfolio throughout the class and kind of reemphasizes the outcomes or the purpose of putting together the portfolio. You'll see that the students start off using their Office suite. So they use PowerPoint to do a biography poster about a famous person and utilizing those language outcomes like verb to be, nationalities, jobs. We also had them write their own profile in Word to get them familiar with using Word if they hadn't already, which many of them hadn't. In Unit 2, we get them to start working with each other and collaborating, doing surveys, and then putting together the data into a table, which Word then converts to a graph for them. They also did a speaking task in Unit 2 about their family, and they just attach it. It's a little bit harder to embed audio. We have some challenges with it replaying later on, so they just embed their audio. Opens up in a new window. So those speaking tasks that are listed in the LMS, those writing tasks in the Blackboard system can be integrated into the ePortfolio. In Unit 3, we had them continue with their use of Word and graph making, and also started working more with paragraph writing. And this is a paragraph that was just written directly into the portfolio box. Here they did an interview about likes and dislikes, and again, just some paragraphs. A lot of writing for Stage 2. This task is one of my favorite tasks. It's for Unit 5 because they have to talk about travel and use travel vocabulary. We have them make a PowerPoint, which they then convert into a video. Some using the narration feature in PowerPoint. Other students chose to use Screencast-O-Matic and tools that they could find on the internet to record their screens. So here's an example of the travel destination video. Okay, so you can see the language is not perfect, but the student is using speaking skills. They've written out sentences for each PowerPoint slide. They're using PowerPoint. They're using a screen recorder. There are a lot of skills going into this one task. So you can also do things like brainstorms. In this Unit 7 task, they start working with past simple. So they do a timeline of their life events. For Unit 9, they do comparative superlative adjectives. Again, here they just added the PowerPoint as an attachment versus screenshotting. So you can see the difference between having just the attachment and then having the visual screenshot. So this is one from Term 2. I'd like to show you an example of then Term 3. The portfolio kind of evolves and develops every time that you do it. So as you can see, the home page or the cover photo here is updated and does a better job of emphasizing what's actually going into the portfolio. And many of the tasks from the original portfolio remained, but there were some improvements and adaptations. So here we actually have them insert the screenshot of utilizing their Outlook for the first time. Again, we kept activities like this where they survey each other and get familiar with turning tables into charts. They also have a speaking activity again. Some of the updates were having them integrate their discussion board use and also using office forms to survey each other. So this took place during Ramadan. So the questions that this particular student chose to ask were related to Ramadan. And then what the students did was just share their link to the WhatsApp group, and they answered each other's surveys. And then as individuals, they collected the data and put together this PowerPoint presentation. They also put together videos about their routine. So this was originally meant to be a speaking task. So the student has taken a task that could have simply been a written paragraph or just a speaking audio sample and integrated a lot of the skills that they've picked up until this point. Here the students have created a PowerPoint about how to use like and dislike. The students have done kind of like a brainstorm here about their favorite food and then turned it into a paragraph. We kept the timeline events activity for using past simple. Instead of just inserting the paragraph or typing the paragraph into the box, the student preferred to use PowerPoint to make their paragraph look more appealing. And an update here, the students decided instead of just attaching their PowerPoint presentations on comparative and superlative adjectives, they've actually taken screenshots of each slide to make their portfolio nice and visually appealing. This is a fun task where you can also use WhatsApp and get the students speaking with each other and communicating, sharing their work. So when done in class, you can provide an example via the WhatsApp group or during class on the board and have them use present continuous to describe pictures of people. And we had the students finish off their portfolios with a reflection about what they had learned and the experience of building the portfolio overall. So as you can see from these examples, the language is not going to be perfect, but the students are practicing those skills. They are proud of what they create. They are motivated to create visually appealing and work that is as correct as they can get it. And it is a great place to put all of the extra activities that we usually give them as teachers anyway. If you have any ideas or suggestions about additional tasks, we'd be happy for you to share them with us and for us to be able to collect a library of activity types or activity options. Thank you.